Imagine this. It's a crisp winter afternoon in Boston. Horses clop along cobbled streets. Children play by the docks. Workers unload barrels from cargo ships. Life in the North End seems ordinary. But then, at 12:40 p.m. on January 15, 1919, the air suddenly shatters with a thunderous roar. A 50-foot tall storage tank holding over 2.3 million gallons of molasses bursts open. Yes, molasses, that sticky, thick syrup used in baking and rum making. A massive, brown tidal wave, 25 feet high and moving at 35 miles per hour, sweeps through the streets. Buildings are ripped from their foundations. A steel train trestle collapses like a toy. Horses are swallowed whole. People are thrown through the air or trapped under the wave. In total, 21 people were killed, and over 150 injured, by molasses. It sounds like a dark comedy sketch, but this was real. Locals called it the Great Molasses Flood. And to this day, some Bostonians claim that on hot summer days, you can still smell the molasses in the air. But how did such a ridiculous disaster happen? Let's rewind. The giant tank belonged to the United States Industrial Alcohol Company. They used it to store molasses shipped in from the Caribbean, which they then distilled into industrial alcohol, used in munitions during World War I. But here's the kicker, the tank was built in a rush. It leaked constantly. Locals even brought buckets to collect molasses dripping from the sides. Some engineers warned it was structurally unsound, but they were ignored. And then came the temperature swing. On January 15, the weather suddenly warmed from freezing to over 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Experts now believe this rapid change caused the fermentation gases inside the tank to expand rapidly, boosting the internal pressure until boom! The aftermath was chaotic. Emergency responders waded through waist-deep syrup. Rescue dogs struggled to move in the goo. Cleanup took weeks, using salt water, sand, and even fire hoses from nearby fireboats. But the real legacy? The lawsuits. The disaster led to one of the first major class action lawsuits in U.S. history. After 5 years of investigations, the company was found liable and paid hundreds of thousands in damages, millions by today's standards. It also marked a shift in how the U.S. approached corporate responsibility and building safety standards. So, while it may sound like something out of a cartoon, the Great Molasses Flood is a reminder of something very real. When greed ignores warnings and safety is treated like an afterthought, disaster, no matter how strange, can strike. And sometimes, it strikes with a sticky, syrupy vengeance.